Okay, welcome to your 360-degree tour of Templeborough Biomass Power Plant. On your right hand side you will see now that is the substation that connects the electricity to the national grid. We're just going through and over the bridge that was put in one go, believe it or not, with a 1800 ton crane. So when we put this bridge in, it was built and erected on the side of the River Don at Rotherham, and then over one bank holiday weekend it was lifted and put in place, and the concrete roadway that you can see was also put in, and then within 48 hours after that it was open and anybody could drive on it, so it was rather good going. So the building you can see in front of you now is the ETA and the turbine. We'll have a look at that a bit later on. Now what we're coming up to here in front of us, slightly onto the left, is the cooling towers. That is actually got a load of falling water in it with three great fans at the top that turn and cool the water down that comes from the steam from the boiler. So it is rather noisy at the best of times. So all the water that's used within the boiler creates steam, it's condensed, cooled down, etc. It's all reused and recycled. So safe to walk on the road today because the plant's actually shut down. We're not expecting any deliveries whatsoever. So what we see just going past on my left there, that is the water tank for the firefighting equipment, just in case anything untoward happens. So what we have on the left side as well is what we call the FGT, the flue gas turbine. Takes all the gases away to make sure no harmful emissions go into the atmosphere, and you'll see the stack as we come round the corner. So if you look up, you'll see the stack, that no harmful emissions come out. It's all monitored obviously 24/7. What we have in front of us there with the four gates is the wood store. We'll have a look at that in a bit. I've got the key in my pocket. Now we're going into the ground floor of the boiler. Have a quick look around here. Appreciate it. Okay, we've roughly got around about 2 months left, a little bit of commissioning left to do, a bit of tweaking to get the maximum performance out of the boiler and the turbine. They have actually had it fully up and running. The turbine's been roughly going roughly around about 33,000 RPM. Sorry, not 33,000 RPM, 5,000 RPM. And it's put 33,000 megawatts onto the grid. So if we look up above us and to the left slightly, that is the actual boiler, and we'll go up and see that a bit better when we get to about the 6th or 7th floor. Fingers crossed the lift's in play and it hasn't been turned off, seeing as how they shut the plant off. Oh, looks promising. Yep, it's working. Okay, let's make our way up to the 11th floor and then we'll walk down.
Closing doors. Going up.
I'm afraid we have no lift music, thank God. This has to be the slowest lift in the planet.
Floor 11. Opening doors.
Okay, this is level 11. You get appreciation of the top of the boiler and what goes on. So what you see to the left of us there is the water tank. Heavily insulated, as you can imagine the heat that gets in there. Boiler roughly gets up to around about 800 degrees C, produces super steam. And there you can see the huge steel beams, believe it or not, because the boiler actually hangs off them because it expands and contracts, so it has to move. So you can see all the rods underneath there. To your left, sorry. Okay. There you go, get appreciation of the fans on the top of the water cooling towers. Obviously, as I said, it's off, so they're not spinning around. And cooling the water down, ready to be reused and reheated. Top of the turbine building. Let's make our way down to about 6 or 7, and then I can walk across the back of the boiler. And there you go. So what you can see to the left in front of you there is the boiler, 12-storey boiler. It's heavily insulated. Inside that is thousands and thousands of pipe running top to bottom. Small diameter, small bore, about 4 inches. And they get full of water obviously, and inside that we have a huge grate where the timber from the wood store comes along on a conveyor, falls onto the grate and obviously ignites because it's already at a high temperature, roughly around about 400 or 500 degrees when it hits the grate, and it burns, heats the water up in the pipes, creates the steam goes to the turbine, turbine turns, creates electricity, goes down to the transformer and then the substation. All this just for creating a bit of steam. let's make our way back down. Make our way to the wood store. Now to the wood store. Oh, before we forget, those items above you there in front of you, that's the conveyors. You've got two conveyors that take the wood out of the wood store over there, drops the wood on one conveyor. One conveyor is only used at one time, the other one's a spare just in case the other one goes down. Runs the conveyor, goes up and takes the wood, then drops it onto the grate on the boiler. Have a quick look at the River Don. What else have we done to it? Ah, yes. And what you can see in front of you there, we had to do a fish pass as part of the environmental remit, and to get the licence to be able to, and if you look to your right, we have water extract. Believe it or not, the water that we get from the boiler comes out the River Don. Keys out. Okay, I'll notice a sign there that says RP must be worn. You don't have to anymore because the dust extraction and the dust suppression system has been fitted. So we've literally got a permanent misting system in there. So that's the wood store. So you've got two massive grabs. You can see one, there's one at the other end. We'll have a look in a minute. We have two bunkers over there. So as the wagons back up to the 4 gates that you've seen earlier, they offload the wood chip into there. The grab will come over, grab it, take it over and put it into the far massive area where the wood stores. As and when the wood's required, the grabs come over and drop wood into these 2 hoppers here that then go into a conveyor system that's underneath it. So you can hear the mist suppression spray. So you can see the grabs are quite big. And there you have it. About 3 days supply there of wood when the boiler's up and running. Okay, and there you can see in front of you over to the left slightly, that's the transformer, and that's about it. Thank you very much for your tour.